No, but if anyone should get you to make a commercial, I think it should be Spiritbox with
True.
their new
That's a
EP,
lot of pressure.
Rotoscope. Too bad.
That's a lot of pressure.
You guys, why are all the 3-song EPs this year so good?
Where the
What
fuck did this
kind
come from?
What kind of crack did they put in the water, bro, that every band wants to put out a 3-song EP and have it be just like the greatest collection of songs I've ever heard in my life? Like,
Counter argument that agrees with you.
Right?
I have a counter argument that agrees with you. Okay.
okay.
Hysteria alone makes this my second favorite EP of the year.
Huh.
Yeah. Hysteria alone also makes this my second favorite EP of the year.
Great.
And then you have the other 2 songs.
Yep.
That are also really good.
Yeah.
Like, I think this band is genius. I think that, we were talking earlier about the streaming era and online demand and all that, and I think that they are doing an incredible job of keeping their name in people's mouths. Because, Courtney said explicitly, she always has a Q&A after every release I've seen on Twitter, and the Q&A was like, are these a part of an album? Do you have any songs written? And they're like, we have a couple things written here and there. Nothing's been out. There's no album plan as of right now. We just wanted to get something out to keep our names fresh and relevant. And I think they did that with that Millennium collab. They spaced that out a couple months. They've got these surprise EP out of nowhere.
They didn't even space it out a couple months. Everybody was talking about when she came out on stage with Ollie Sykes.
Yeah. Spiritbox is just, they're almost like a phenomena. Right? Like Rotoscope's already at 1.3 million, and Sew Me Up is almost at 700,000. Hysteria is at 750,000, and this is like, all 3 of these songs were a complete surprise that came out, announced maybe 3 hours before they dropped. Like,
and 3 hours before they dropped, it was just Rotoscope.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a 3 songs.
There's going to be 3 tracks.
Like, I was just excited to hear one new
Spiritbox. 1.6 mil.
Right. What's up?
Rotoscope on YouTube is 1.6 mil.
Jeez.
In 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous the way that this band pulls numbers, but I think it's for a very good reason given how good these songs are. Everything that this band touches in terms of genre feels like it just turns to gold. I mean, Courtney sounded great on, that EDM collab with Millennium. Everything on Eternal Blue, whether it be something heavier, more, metalcore, or something more experimental like We Live in a Strange World, something slower like Constance. And then you have Rotoscope and Sew Me Up, which are these, like, 9-inch nails, Deftones style, industrial, 90s rock type of thing, where Rotoscope and Sew Me Up, like, personally, I had a coworker a couple years back who was all into, like, Metallica, Pantera.
Yeah.
And he loved industrial metal, and he would show me these songs, and I hated the 90s style of singing, but I loved the instrumentals. And I was like, I wish some band would come along and do this industrial sound with fresh-sounding new age vocals. And Architects almost got there for me with Animals. I think that Spiritbox has managed to, in their first 2 attempts at trying, completely nail that sound with Rotoscope and Sew Me Up, to the point where it's like, I'm talking contention that all 3 of these songs are some of the best I've heard all year, and like in top 10, top 20 contention, and they didn't really even have to try. It's not even like this was some big release. It was a surprise drop, and they're like, oh yeah, we just wanted to try out some things and, keep our names fresh in people's mouths. And it's like, oh yeah, we're just creating some of the best music you've heard all year without even trying. Like,
the only other band that I can think of that is like as good at keeping their name in people's mouths is Loveless at this point. With everything Julian's been doing lately. But like, it feels like whenever Spiritbox drops something, the difference between Spiritbox and Loveless is that Loveless, Julian's just a TikTok, like, he's like a puppet master of that app at this point. With any cover he touches, just being able to control that algorithm to his stroke.
Yes, come to the dark side, Jake.
Whereas with Spiritbox can just go quiet for a few weeks, and it feels like as soon as they announce anything, it's like an event. It's like everyone just got the notification on their phone that like Spiritbox is about to do something crazy, and everyone's here for it. It's like, what's Spiritbox doing next? And like 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, it's incredible.
I want to give, I mean, obviously there's the special shout out to the breakdown Hysteria, right? Like we all know it. We all acknowledge it. It's kind of like talking about
continuation from part 1, actually. So novelists, breakdown of the year for a short moment in time until Fit for a King happened. But 3 hours before Fit for a King happened, this song happened. Hysteria breakdown of the year, baby. Come at me.
I mean, I'm honestly ready to declare
I have not heard something as filthy and disgusting and as chunky since Pulling Teeth by Of Mice and Men, and that was over a year ago.
No, go for it.
I have a different one, but I do enjoy the Hysteria breakdown. I think in all 3 of these songs, I think Rotoscope is best song all around.
Okay.
Sew Me Up is the most catchy, and then Hysteria has the best breakdown.
I'm gonna agree with that 100%. I think Rotoscope for me it has every element of what I would want this band to do, right? Like I want the breakdown, I want the uncleans, I want the cleans, I want the catchy chorus. The echo on Sway in that chorus is just instant earworm, and I think so many.
I'll disagree with that, but it did get me eventually. Yeah, I was a little thrown off by Rotoscope at first, and it took me quite a while to really get into it.
Huh.
That chorus, like the muted vocals on the chorus, just didn't click for me at first, but eventually, like once it was in my head, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the part where it's one of my favorite things in this EP is the chorus of Sew Me Up, where she sings Hate Too Hollow for Anyone. It's just so haunting, I guess. Courtney's voice has just this incredible ability to sound dark and growly and yet airy and haunting. Yeah. And we get that full range on this EP, which I think is part of what makes it so special, you know? Oh, this band is just so good. It feels like they can't do any wrong, no matter what they do, and they just keep getting better.
I want to make shout out to the lyrics in the breakdown, or right before the breakdown, where it's like, what I created as violent delights in my head will have a violent end. I have really connected to those lyrics, not as just like the call out to a breakdown, but just as like kind of deep lyrics in a way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really
no.
got
I'm with you.
Lyrics. It's more than just a breakdown call out to get the crowd pumped.
Well, and I think there are bands out there like fucking, I don't know, Attila, right? They just have the worst lyrics you've ever heard, but the breakdown's really good, so it kind of balances it out, you know? Spiritbox is giving us the whole package. I mean, I haven't been, well, I shouldn't say that. Top 5 most hype moment of the year is in that breakdown in Hysteria, where it's I Feel Fear Disintegrate Axis, and the music cuts, and then she screams Annihilate, and it cuts back in. I just get this every time that breakdown hits, and that part in particular, I just get this stupid grin on my face. I've listened to that song maybe 30 times now, and just every time without fail. Oh man. I love Spiritbox. I can't remember the last time a band this quickly like just launched itself into my top 10 favorite artists of all time. But honestly, between Eternal Blue and this and everything, the Courtney features, even that Spiritbox EP, the singles before Eternal Blue, all of it is just so good. It feels like their floor is the ceiling of so many other bands in the scene, and yet they just keep pushing higher. It's ridiculous.
Yep. It is ridiculous.
What do we think about this in comparison to Eternal Blue? Which is better?
I don't think they're comparable.
That's a good way to put it, but if I had to pick, I think Eternal Blue is better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Eternal Blue was my album of the year last year, so like I feel obligated. You know?
I'm gonna have to choose this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Damn. I think the quality is as good, if not better. I just think it comes down to quantity type of thing. That if this is as good as Eternal Blue's just got more tracks for me. But I think if you made me pick my top 3 off of Eternal Blue and put them up against this might be better, type of thing. I think this is certainly a step up from their other EP, the Spiritbox self-titled EP back in 2017 or whatever. Yes. I think this blows that out of the water, 100%. But I would expect it to, you know. But I mean, shoot, if they're going to tour. Well, I'm not touring directly on this, but they've got a couple dates coming out. A headliner. I'm wondering. I'm now curious to see if they do anything else with this between now and the next album cycle. Whether it be a tour on these 3 songs, you know, if they're going to put out anything else, you know, because we weren't expecting this at all, and now it creates that anticipation of, oh shit, well, what if they drop something else, you know? But
what if they decide to fuck around and drop another 5-song EP at the end of the
year? Please, that would be so good. I'd love that.
I think they said they're touring Eternal Blue in North America in early 2023, is what I remember.
There better be a Virginia date, or there will be hands thrown, ladies and gentlemen, hands thrown.
Derek will be in hysteria.
Yes, sir.
I think the last thing that I want to mention before we move on, sorry to dampen the mood, but Sew Me Up is probably one of the more underwhelming Spiritbox songs, in my opinion.
Wow. Horrible take. Shut up.
Next to We Live in a Strange World, probably the most underwhelming.
Okay, just stop.
What is Never mind.
It's still good, but like...
This is why I asked him to do the ranking in the first place.
Next to Rotoscope and Hysteria, it's just... Sew Me Up isn't doing much for me. It's still good, but...
You want my hot take? Out of all the songs...
It's the best song on the EP.
No, it's not. Okay. But like, it's still like a 9 on 10. I think that between these 3 songs and Eternal Blue, out of everything, Holy Roller is the weakest song, and it's not even close. I skip
That's not a terrible take.
I skip it.
I've heard worse takes.
But I don't know. I think this band's creativity is just on full display here, and I love every song here so much.
A bad Spiritbox song is still good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're gonna have to have a talk after this is over.
Not in agreement tonight.
No. We got all that out last episode. Now it's time to argue.